Cuyahoga County Council regular meeting for Tuesday, August 2nd is now called to order. Andrea, would you please call the roll?
Good evening. As a reminder to all in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. It is now 5:07 p.m. Calling the roll, Ms. Stevens.
Present.
Ms. Simon.
Here.
Ms. Baker.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Present.
Mr. Sweeney. Mr. Sweeney is absent. Mr. Tuma.
Here.
Mr. Gallagher.
Here.
Mr. Schron.
Here.
Ms. Conwell.
Present.
Ms. Turner.
Here.
Council President Jones.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you.
Mr. President,
Councilman Miller.
I move that the absence of Councilman Sweeney be excused.
Second.
Probably moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. This time, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Andrea, has anyone signed in for public comment?
Yes, Mr. President. Dolores Gray.
Yes, Ms. Gray, please come forward. And again, members of the public, please remember to conduct yourselves in a civil and respectful manner when giving public comment and when those comments are being given. Yes, Ms. Gray. There's a little green light, there's a button if you press it under the microphone.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Armand Budish as well as the County Council representatives for allowing me to come here to speak today. Last week, we had a meeting with Armand Budish, myself, and several other women who have some concerns in regards to Roe v. Wade and the resources that we are not receiving here in Cuyahoga County. So I just wanted to speak on that to just let people know that we are in need of some assistance in regards to the things that are going on regarding Roe v. Wade. It is very important that we look at the situation that is at hand, how things have failed, and we would like to ask for some help in regards to resources and support. Support is necessary because in Cuyahoga County, it's a lot of problems going on with women and this situation with Roe v. Wade. I work with a lot of women with my organization, Brick House Women's Wellness Empowerment Group, and several women have had these situations in regards to receiving abortions or having legal reproductive rights. So I'm very concerned about that. And as I get more and more women that are concerned and that are coming to me, that's why I'm here today. So I would just like to let you all know that we are in the trenches working hard to help women, no matter who they are, women of all races, because it is needed. We need to find a way to help and help grassroots organizations who are out there in the trenches working hard to make sure that women receive reproductive rights. So with that said, I would like to just thank you all again because I'm very concerned about all of this, especially when women come to me and they call me, and even dealing with women that are going through domestic violence. They are experiencing this. Women who are dealing with human trafficking, they are also experiencing this, and this is very serious. And I think the county council should look at ways that we can all work together to make things happen and to help women with their reproductive rights and regarding Roe v. Wade. So thank you.
Thank you.
I apologize in advance. It's a little bit hard to read the last name. First name Elaine, last name Goldstein.
And just for the record, the county executive has sponsored a piece of legislation that is on the agenda today. It has simply been introduced. It will not be voted on today, but it has been introduced today. Continue, Andrea.
Well, Elaine, she cannot be here today, so she just called to let me know, and just wanted to thank you all, as well as Mr. Armand Budish for allowing us to speak today. Thank you.
Cheryl Lesson.
You have to hold this to speak?
Not hold it, just press it till you see the green light.
Oh, okay. One, I wanted to thank Kathy Coleman from the Women's March for inviting me to present today.
Ms. Lesson, if you could state your name for the record, please.
Oh, certainly. Cheryl Lesson. I'm speaking on behalf of Rise Up for Abortion Rights, and I'm an RN practicing in Cleveland. When they ruled that Roe versus Wade was wrongly decided, the highest court in the most powerful country in the world stripped away, essentially, full legal rights for women. And we got the message that women are not free, that our bodies are not our own, that our destinies are to be shaped by the state, by the church, by men. We can't allow ourselves to pretty it up once again by pretending that we can find workarounds, pretending that it's something we can get used to. We can't, sorry, we now live in a country where women are not free, and Black women and Latinas are even less free. And when women are not free, no one is free. When millions of women are not allowed to determine whether or not to have a child, when millions of women are not safe, there are no real safe havens. I'm 78 years old. I remember very well the good old days and what they were like in actual fact, when every important decision in the life of a woman or a girl laid in the hands of a man, of the church, of the state. Rise Up for Abortion Rights calls on everyone, including everyone here tonight in this room, to take the streets in a green wave for abortion, to demand the federal government must restore legal abortion nationwide now. Because people of conscience can make this happen. But relying on a blue wave in November cannot. Thank you.
Again, I apologize in advance. It's hard to read the name. Is it Matisse Hayes?
It's Cheryl, L-E-S-S, like in Sam, I-N.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm referring to the next commenter.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Matisse Hayes? Ms. Hayes? Okay, I'll move on.
My name's Marion McCarthy, and I'm here on behalf of Women's March Cleveland and Kathy Ray Coleman to say a few words that have brought me out to the streets and protest against the overturning of Roe v. Wade's nearly 50-year established law upheld by nearly 50 years of Supreme Court justices by a rogue, bad actor, stacked, recently Supreme Court Justice SCOTUS from the previous administration. First of all, my message is that this criminalization of a woman's reproductive system, and I do mean reproductive system because a woman's body conducts abortions naturally by design, by divine design, known as stillbirth and miscarriage. Pregnancy is a dangerous and difficult bodily function, and women need legal and safe access to quality health care, legal health care. And to criminalize a woman for what her body conducts naturally is a violation, I think, of constitutional correctness. It's autonomy correctness to when a woman is in a car accident, in a stressful situation, her body reacts to defend itself and shuts down a pregnancy. And the medical term for miscarriage is spontaneous abortion. So I don't think necessarily the Supreme Court justices that ran this through before Ketanji Brown Jackson was even sworn in really did their due diligence and were fair in any way to the implications and how they affect women directly. I mean, it's just legal, safe access to necessary health care in many cases, and anybody under the ruse that they're on a religious mission to save these fetuses at 6 weeks where there is only a group of cells, there's not a heart formed, that group of cells can conduct an electrical current, but that is not technically a heartbeat. The heart is not formed, it's just a group of cells.
Thank you. Thank you.
Chris Martin.
Chris Martin, City of Cleveland, District 7. I am not here to speak against the outrageous 31 million or 46 or 54 million you seem set to waste on the malignant MedMart. Nor am I here to speak against the further millions in slush fund pet projects you've deemed worthy of money from the public's coffers, although there's some real doozies there. $75K in operating funds for the air show, $120K for new cop cars, 2 new cop cars for the extremely wealthy and demonstrably racist Bracknell police, $1.2 million for a gun range for Rocky River cops. No. Instead, I am here to speak against resolutions 05, 06, 07, 0296, and 0297. For a long time, I have avoided public comment here at County Council because for a long time, I considered these chambers hallowed. I interned here before it was the C. Ellen Connolly County Council chambers. I loved that experience. It helped instill deeply in me a desire to serve the public. A decade has passed since then, and you all have disabused me of the notion that being an elected official means you serve the public well. Instead, I see a council and an executive always eager for the next silver bullet, from the MedMart to the Hilton to stadium upgrades at Gateway. And usually you are led to these terrible decisions by Jeffrey Applebaum and Project Management Consultants, LLC. Applebaum is truly a man with a million terrible ideas. Cuyahoga County must stop remunerating him with millions of public dollars. Today, he tells you maxing out the county sales tax for an indefinite period of time without a public vote is the only rational choice. Hogwash. Council, you cannot allow this scandal-ridden county executive to permanently max out our sales tax as he makes his way out the door and with an election for a hopefully competent county executive at our doorstep. Budish wants you to shell out tens, nay, hundreds of millions for a jail that hasn't even been designed yet. How big will it be? How many human beings will you stuff in its cells? No one knows. Budish Bootish clearly wants to cement his legacy as someone who builds cages. Council, you do not have to aid or abet this. In fact, you can tell Cuyahoga County residents that we deserve care, not cages. You can invest in anti-poverty programs that actually work in reducing crime. You don't have to spend more than $500 million on pro-carceral non-solutions. At the very least, Council, you must reject any plan to permanently max out our sales tax without a public vote.
Okay, thank you.
William Denham.
Good evening, Council. My name is William Dunman. I am here representing the Newburgh Heights Village Council this evening. I am Council President pro tempore, and I came to discuss the potential ARPA funding and the ARPA grant application submitted that includes $219,000 for improvements to an existing dog park. I have to tell you that in the weeks that we have known about the grant application and the designation for the funds, I have the best I can do from any of my residents. A dog park user is, I don't care if you do it or not. I've not got a single positive response to dedicating that amount of money to a dog park in this environment. The $40,000 for the home maintenance grant is a wonderful thing. It touches the entire neighborhood and impacts the outcome of the neighborhood, every single home that gets improved. My request is that when this goes to committee, we have an opportunity to discuss how the funds move. I'm not 100% sure how the rules are for the ARPA funding, but if we could reallocate those funds some other way, that would be awesome. Obviously, I didn't come up with a prepared speech, but thank you for your time.
Michelle Greora.
Good evening. My name is Michelle Greora. I am also from the village of Newburgh Heights. I am a councilwoman. Did not coordinate. We're both here expressing the same sentiment. The current grant proposal is $219,000 for a dog park that is utilized by approximately a dozen residents. It's a dog park that, by their own Parks and Recreation survey, 86% of residents rarely or never use this dog park. On the list of surveys where steps moving forward, there are 9. Dog park did not come to one of those statements. It purports to entice 500 more residents to come to the village. It's a nice amenity. I can't see that happening. I have a dog, love my dog. I cannot see spending nearly $250,000 on my dog or any dog. Does the dog park need upgrades? Absolutely. There are many other funding streams. I have written a grant in my prior term on council. I would do so again to ensure that that dog park gets upgrades and gets funded. We are in a time now when the economy is unstable. Our housing stock is approximately 50% renters, 50% homeowners. The homeowners are struggling. According to the Produce Price Index, building costs have risen 33% since COVID. Residents are struggling. They need that money to help with their home maintenance. Our current home maintenance program is a dollar for dollar match. Resident puts in $1,000, the village puts in $1,000. A $2,000 gift is obviously a nice deal for the village, for the residents, but in these economic times, we cannot sustain that. We need more money. Project costs are going up. What we propose is a different match. Still the $1,000 match from the resident, still the $1,000 match from the village, but we would also like to use an additional amount from ARPA to give $5,000 with a minimum of $7,000 for a project. Our village will benefit from a significant increase in the home. We are asking council to please give us some leeway. We have a new mayor. I am a new member of council. We would like a little leeway to work things out. I'm sure the mayor did the best she could. She was under a time crunch. I'm sure you know she was appointed after an unfortunate circumstance. We would love an opportunity to work with her and get this dog park and home maintenance grant worked out, and I'm asking for council's latitude in allowing that to happen. Thank you for your time.
Rob Loftus.
Hi. Hi, my name is Rob Loftus, and I live in Bay Village, which means I'm in Nan Baker's district, which I believe is the only district that has a contested election this fall. I'm here because the county council seems to be hell-bent on rushing out and spending money on a project that hasn't been properly planned, researched, and may not even be necessary. So the county is going to spend $20 million on a site of an oil refinery, which hasn't even completed an environmental completed an environmental assessment of. The site is supposed to be the location of the new jail, but the only study on rehabbing the old jail that is available is the outdated 2014 study. So, and the land is going to be paid for with a sales tax, which hits poor and working class people much harder than rich folks. And coincidentally, poor and working class and people of color are exactly the ones most likely to wind up in jail because their communities are the ones that the police target for enforcement. Police patrol the poor neighborhoods looking for people who might shoplift bread, but it's not their job to enforce the law, for instance, when employers steal wages. The basic message here is that you are asking poor people and people of color to pay for a jail where you later plan on warehousing them. And all of this takes place against the background of the deaths at the existing jail, which it needs to be emphasized were not caused by the building. Yeah, the building is old and dismal, but the building is not able to sell drugs to incarcerated people, deny incarcerated people medical care, or put an incarcerated person in a 5-point restraining chair and then pepper spray her because she asked to see a lawyer. Buildings don't do that, people do. And we know there are many things that can be done to dramatically reduce the number of people we incarcerate in the jail. For starters, we can stop jailing people for technical parole violations. Last January, when Adam Weekly died in the jail, the media couldn't even identify a reason why he was being held. He had been on parole, a report had found him not psychologically fit to stand trial, and for some reason he had been returned to the jail where he died. It just looks to me like the county is more interested in handing out contracts than it is in actually facing the problems the problems faced by the people of this county. And I think that's shameful. Thank you.
Chris Stocking.
Good evening, Council. My name is Christopher Stocking. I live in Cleveland. Thank you for allowing me time to comment. I wanted to ask Council which county in Ohio has the highest sales tax? Does anyone know? Any council representative?
This is a one-way conversation. You have the opportunity to speak, but.
Okay. Thank you. Our community, Cuyahoga County, has the highest sales tax in Ohio. And I find it really disturbing that we're talking about extending a sales tax that is not coming up due until 2027, 5 years ahead of time. This jail will not attract new residents to Cuyahoga County. Cuyahoga County is one of the few urban counties in the United States that is losing population. And as we lose population, our tax base declines. And we have to continue to raise taxes higher to fund the services that we need. People are moving other cities that have things like public transportation where you don't need to spend $10,000 a year to own a car. In Cuyahoga County, we have not increased funding for public transit since 1975. We rely on a 1% sales tax since 1975 to fund public transportation. If you continue this quarter-cent sales tax, it's going to make it very hard to go to the ballot for needed services that connect people to jobs, healthcare, and education. Public transit has been cut 30% in the last 15 years. Public transit fares have doubled during that time. County Council did do a public transit subcommittee a few years ago, and RTA has done a system redesign and has reduced their fares, some of the things that report called for. But that report also called looking for a quarter-cent sales tax. If you keep our sales tax at 8%, you are killing public transportation for Cuyahoga County. You are killing the chances to do a public transportation levy, and that's not good. If we don't have good public transit, we can't attract people to Cuyahoga County. This jail is not going to attract anyone to move here like public transit would. So I ask County Council to remove Ordinance 2002-0005 from the agenda, rescind it from the agenda, take it off the agenda. It's too early to be talking about a sales tax that doesn't expire in 5 years. You need to remove that from the agenda. We need to have more information, and we need to look at the diversion center as well. Last I heard, there are less than 10 of 50 beds being used in the diversion center. That would be a much better use of limited tax dollars. Please remove Ordinance 2022-0005 from the agenda. Thank you.
Tahishi.
Hello, everyone. Hello, council members. Thank you for this opportunity to speak as well. My name is Tishi, and I'm a registered nurse working in trauma at Metro Hospital. I'm here representing myself and the diverse and vibrant communities that I'm a part of in Cleveland. As a medical health professional and union organizer, I strongly believe that building a new jail will further put marginalized and vulnerable populations in Cuyahoga County more at risk of violence and early death. Members of the Cuyahoga County Council, I am here to strongly urge you to vote against building another jail. As a nurse and public health advocate, it is very infuriating to know that this is even being considered, that over $20 million of public funds are potentially going to be invested in further criminalizing and incarcerating mostly poor Black and brown people and working class white people, instead of building and funding community-based anti-violence organizations and other health initiatives that Cuyahoga County citizens desperately need. There are also a myriad of other necessary and life-changing public works projects that could be also invested in instead of building yet another jail, such as affordable and safe housing, public transit, and access to good public education. Ohio is an economically poor state and is known as one of the most racist and conservative states in the country. Initiatives to build new prisons instead of addressing real public health crises of systematic racism and gun violence, especially in the city of Cleveland, should be a priority. As a trauma nurse, I'm always taking care of young people, mostly young Black men, who are victims of gun violence. It is heartbreaking and exhausting. The suffering I see every day is for nothing, and it is more than preventable. Gun violence always disproportionately impacts communities of color, despite 48% of gun ownership belonging to white men, according to the Pew Research Center. And in Ohio, Black men make up less than 7% of Ohio's population, but account for nearly 64% of the state's gun homicide victims. And young Black men of ages 18 to 24 are nearly 32 times more likely than white men at that age to be murdered with a gun, according to the Ohio Coalition Against Gun Violence. As a new nurse, I'm really, really tired of seeing young Black men, mostly young Black men and men of color, people of color, being afflicted by gun violence, and all these patients will suffer long-term disabilities and health complications. It's a public health crisis that will not be solved by further incarcerating people. Poverty is a public health crisis that will also not be solved by further incarcerating people. Racism is a public health crisis that will not be solved by further incarcerating people. The carceral system and the police state do not address the real root of social issues and violence that Ohioans experience every day. Building a jail will not solve deep social and economic and racial divides that plague our beloved and deeply problematic state of Ohio. Please consider investing that $20 million public funds into anti-violence projects, expanding mental health services and access around Cuyahoga County, funding initiatives for public transit, and utilizing diversion center beds to help folks instead of sending them to the county jail and incarcerating them. Thank you for your time.
Susan Schnur.
I heartily agree with Susan Schnur, with everyone's comments so far today, but I'm here to, just as a pet peeve, that we pay to build those arenas and that stadium, not even talking about the Browns, that's disgusting, but the baseball, and we can't watch the ball games. Bally Sports controls all the basketball, and they promised us year after year that they would let us buy just the package to watch the Cavaliers, and we can't. You got to spend $90 to a month get a bunch of channels, which I never watch, just to try to watch the Cavaliers game, and I think that's wrong because we paid for those things, and I'm willing to pay, but Bally's Gambling now owns most of the TV rights for the whole NBA. I know you can't affect that, but we were promised a dedicated package for Indians, and then if the Guardians, sorry, that was quite a victory, for the Guardians and the Cavaliers, and we've gotten neither. And that's it. Thank you.
Lou.
Good evening. It seems like some people already made up their mind they want to spend big money in the jail. So I would like to address an issue, of course, in where I stay and you guys all know well. Yesterday there was a medical emergency. This person staying in the basement, having her neurological issue happen. So she couldn't move. Fortunately, this time she could talk. So we had to get EMS for her. Yes, EMS came to the basement. Then they found out we stay in the building for over a decade. You put 2 office buildings into a shelter. So no way for the stretcher to go to the basement because there's no elevator, there's no lift, no any other way. The stairway and the doorway are so narrow. Fortunately, this particular ambulance has equipped with another device, which will be like a chair. So 2 strong EMS medics, they really helped her to get to the first floor, out of the building, to get into the ambulance. She has wasted 8 hours in the emergency room at Metro Health without being attended. But fortunately, her symptoms went away. She could come back on her own. So if we really have to have the new jail built for that much money and this and that, people don't like homeless people thinking we are a nuisance anyway. Don't forget my New Year's resolution before COVID-19. Please move all the homeless into the county jail. Then we will really populate it there very well. Thank you very much.
Brian Maloney. I apologize.
Good evening, County Executive Budish, Council President Jones, Councilwoman Conwell, of which I'm a constituent. As you see by my very colorful T-shirt, I'm a proud member of the Ohio Poor People's Campaign. I currently am one of their state tri-chairs. And I've been before this august body before, so we're going to try this one more time. If you're not aware of Dr. King's original Poor People's Campaign, the premise is based on their 5 interlocking evils: systemic racism, systemic poverty, environmental degradation, the false narrative of religious nationalism. And what we are doing here is fighting for people's lives. COVID-19 has exposed every historical disparity within our country. We as a society know what is required. Our theory of change is when you help those at the bottom, you lift from the bottom, everybody rises. So I ask again, how is it that in one of the poorest urban areas in our country, are we still following the same failed policies that have got us to this point? And let me just digress for a moment, because even before we even address the obvious things that have been presented because of COVID-19, we already had an ongoing pandemic of an opioid crisis. And the lack of response and attention to that previous ongoing crisis that disproportionately hit the people that I care most about, those people of color, those of low wages, those working class folks that are just trying to do what they have to do to survive. We lost track of that. So I'm here to dovetail with the previous comments, because you all know the stats and the figures regarding the jail. You all know that a jail does not add economic development. You all know that we are losing population. You all know that we can do better, but we're not. So my simple question is, which side are you on? Are you on our side, the people's side? Or are you on someone else's side? Because the time is coming, we've got elections coming up, things are happening at the state and federal level that are energizing folks, but you folks are the first line. So when the locals get upset and riled up, just like in the old movies, the angry villagers come out with the pitchforks and the torches, and they come directly to the castle. They don't go to the Capitol. So I hate to be this way today, but again, I ask you, where are your priorities? Are you hearing us? Are you seeing this large group of folks from all across our community who are taking their time and effort to come out here to implore you to work with us, include us, engage us? Or is it going to be business as usual? Thank you very much.
Maeve Vitello. Maeve Vitello. Council President, that concludes the... Okay, sorry.
Big crowd, they made me stand in the back. Hello, my name is Maeve. I live in Cleveland Heights. I'm here to speak against the proposals to purchase the former Standard Oil refinery site on Transport and the proposal to extend the county sales tax increase. I oppose the proposal to purchase the former oil refinery site because there is currently no environmental study available yet, meaning the land might not even be usable for its frankly kind of bad and pointless purpose. Additionally, the $20 million purchase is a massive investment that could be better put elsewhere. If today's prior public comment is any indication, it is an unpopular use of a massive amount of money that could be better directed towards community resources, which reduce the need for a jail in the first place. Additionally, I oppose the sales tax extension because it funds this and other unpopular projects by most greatly burdening individuals and families already encumbered by the current economy. It is not only bad policy, it is honestly insulting to hear that the county is considering extending a tax increase during a period of massive inflation, when groceries and gas are becoming more difficult for people like me to afford. During a time like this, there is no need to be raking money off the top from taxpayers to pay for a massive land acquisition, and our priority should instead be on ensuring people are financially secure. Taken together, I finally wanted to say that these two proposals are only a small part of a much larger plan to build a new jail in the county that I strongly oppose. The Cuyahoga County Jail is notable not only for the amount of abuse and neglect that occurs there, but also for the fact that this abuse continues uninterrupted year after year with little to no improvement or consequence. With this track record, I see no reason to believe that throwing $500 million, the current estimate for the cost of the jail, to build a new one will do anything other than allow this abuse to be conducted in a nicer venue or at twice the speed. Any real attempt at addressing prison conditions or concern about the word overcrowding that you like to throw around so much would start with a strategy of decarceration, not building a new space in which to incarcerate and kill other community members.
Council President, that concludes the public comment portion for this meeting.
All right, thank you, Andrea. At this time, can I have a motion to approve our minutes as printed on the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, I'll say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. This time we'll have messages from the county executive.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yesterday, I participated in the opening of the Via Sana project. It is 72 affordable housing units in Clark Fulton. Several years ago, Dr. Akram Boutros came to the county to ask that we transfer land to Metro so that they could proceed to develop affordable housing near the hospital campus. When it was first presented, I thought, why is Metro doing affordable housing? You know, they've got so much going on. They were in the process of building a new $1 billion hospital project. Why take on more? Well, let me tell you, I'm glad that they did this. They partnered with the NRP Group, Cuyahoga Community College, and the City of Cleveland to build a very exciting and much-needed affordable housing project. And that's just the first step in a $60 million mixed-use development. When you consider that healthcare depends not just on doctors, nurses, and medicines, but also on housing, jobs, food security, green space, and more, this project makes perfect sense. I believe it's an exciting pilot that may change the approach to healthcare. Thank you.
Okay. Legislation introduced by council. Consideration of a resolution of council for first reading adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor of suspending the rules say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The rules are suspended.
Resolution 2022-0256, providing for the appointment of Sharon Georgakopoulos as the Assistant Deputy Clerk to serve the Council of Cuyahoga County.
Good evening, council members. Trevor Meckler, council staff. Before you today is a resolution to hire Sharon as the replacement to Ashley Johnson. As you know, Ashley resigned a couple weeks ago. We posted this for nearly 2.5 weeks internally to the county. We received 7 applicants. Sharon, by far, had the most clerking experience. She served as a clerk under the Board of County Commissioners for nearly 2 decades. She currently serves as the clerk to the Board of Control that Councilwoman Baker and Councilman Miller serve on. And she worked under Gene Smacher, our former clerk, for a decade at the Board of County Commissioners, and worked under our current clerk, Andrea, at the Board of Control when Andrea was a clerk to the Board of Control. If approved today, she would start on August 22nd.
All right. I will make the motion to adopt. Second. Any further discussion? Not all those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
Is she here this evening?
Is she here this evening?
She asked if she had to attend, and I wasn't sure how long public comment would take, so I told her she did not have to attend today. She was going to, but.
So, Trevor.
All right. Consideration of resolutions of council for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution 2022-0257, adopting various changes to the Cuyahoga County non-bargaining classification plan.
This item will be referred to the Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee.
Resolution 2022-0258, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,300 to the Ohio Aerospace Institute for the purpose of enabling Cuyahoga County businesses to compete globally through biomimicry-based innovation from the District 2 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Economic Development and Planning Committee.
Resolution 2022-0259, awarding a total sum not to exceed $225,000 to Baldwin Wallace University for the Northeast Ohio Flight Information Exchange, digital infrastructure for drone services projects from the District 2 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Public Safety Committee.
Resolution 2022-0260, awarding a total sum not to exceed $50,000 to the Horizon Education Centers for startup expenses at the Shoreway Horizon Education Center from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Education, Environment, and Sustainability Committee.
Resolution 2022-0261, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,000 to the Cleveland Christian Home for the Cleveland Christian Home Capital Renovation Project from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Health, Human Services, and Aging Committee.
Resolution 2022-0262, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,000 to the Eleanor B. Rainey Memorial Institute for the purpose of expanding the Pivot Center for Art, Dance, and Expansion from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Community Development Committee.
Resolution 2022-0263, awarding a total sum not to exceed $25,000 to the Denison Avenue United Church of Christ for the purpose of making capital repairs at 9900 Denison Avenue from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Health, Human Services, and Aging Committee.
Resolution 2022-0264, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,000 to the Centers for Families and Children and Circle Health Services for the purpose of facility expansion at the Centers and Circle Health Services at Gordon Square from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Health, Human Services, and Aging Committee.
Resolution 2022-0265, awarding a total sum not to exceed $50,000 to the Sokol Greater Cleveland Gymnastic and Educational Organization, Inc., for capital improvements at Bohemian National Hall, Czech Cultural Center, from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Community Development Committee.
Resolution 2022-0266, awarding a total sum not to exceed $75,000 to the Cleveland National Air Show, Inc., for general operations from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Economic Development and Planning Committee.
Resolution 2022-0267, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,000 to the Union Miles Development Corporation for the construction of the Walt Collins Veterans Housing and Service Center from the District 8 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Community Development Committee.
Resolution 2022-0268, authorizing the Department of Public Works to utilize a total sum not to exceed $787,748 for the purpose of rebuilding Garfield Boulevard and constructing a connecting trail in the city of Garfield Heights from the District 8 Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2022-0269, authorizing the Department of Public Works to utilize a total sum not to exceed $250,000 for the purpose of the Grant Avenue pavement repair and resurfacing project in the village of Cuyahoga Heights from the District 8 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2022-0270, awarding a total sum not to exceed $40,000 to the Village of Newburgh Heights for the village's home maintenance grant program from the District 8 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2022-0271, awarding a total sum not to exceed $219,000 to the Village of Newburgh Heights for the purpose of constructing the Washington Dog Park from the District 8 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2022-0272, awarding a total sum not to exceed $140,000 to the City of Maple Heights for the installation of an emergency generator at the Maple Heights Senior Center from the District 8 Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2022-0273, awarding a total sum not to exceed $480,000 to the City of Maple Heights for the Fire Station Number 1 roof repair project from the District 8 ARPA Community Grant Fund. Fund.
This item will be referred to the Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2022-0274, awarding a total sum not to exceed $80,000 to the City of Maple Heights for the Fire Station Number 2 roof repair project from the District 8 Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2022-0275, awarding a total sum not to exceed $50,000 to the City of Maple Heights for the Police Department Locker Room Expansion Project from the District 8 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2022-0276, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,000 to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Ohio for the Broadway Kitchen and Security Improvements Project from the District 8 Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Community Development Committee.
Resolution 2022-0277, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,000 to Burton Bell Carr Development, Inc. for the Arbor Park Place redevelopment project from the District 8 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Community Development Committee.
Resolution 2022-0278, awarding a total sum not to exceed $400,000 to the AIDS Task Force of Greater Cleveland for the Evolution Behavioral Health Program from the District 10 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Health, Human Services, and Aging Committee.
Resolution 2022-0279, awarding a total sum not to exceed $120,755 to the Village of Bracknell for the Eddy Road Rehabilitation Project from the District 10 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2022-0280, awarding a total sum not to exceed $123,235.54 to the Village of Bracknell for the purpose of purchasing 2 new police vehicles from the District 10 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2022-0281, awarding a total sum not to exceed $120,000 to Waterloo Arts for Phase 2 of the Green Roof and Alley renovation project from the District 10 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Community Development Committee.
Resolution 2022-0282, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,000 to Family Connections of Northeast Ohio for the purpose of engaging families and strengthening literacy in kindergarten students from the District 10 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Education, Environment, and Sustainability Committee.
Resolution 2022-0283, awarding a total sum not to exceed $200,000 to the Literacy Cooperative for Dolly Parton's Imagination Library from the District 10 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Education, Environment, and Sustainability Committee.
Resolution 2022-0284, awarding a total sum not to exceed $275,000 to Front Exhibition Company for the Cleveland Triennial for Contemporary Art from the District 10 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Community Development Committee.
Resolution 2022-0285, awarding a total sum not to exceed $47,280.43 to the East Cleveland Domestic Violence Program for the purpose of supporting operational expenses from the District 10 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Health, Human Services, and Aging Committee.
Resolution 2022-0286, awarding a total sum not to exceed $25,000 to the Collective Arts Network for the Cannes Triennial Regional Art Exhibition from the District 10 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Community Development Committee.
Resolution 2022-0287, awarding a total sum not to exceed $2 million to the Cleveland Metro Parks for the restoration of Forest Hills Park from the District 10 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Community Development Committee.
Resolution 2022-0288, awarding a total sum not to exceed $500,000 to the City of Cleveland Heights for the Security Camera Network Replacement and Expansion Project from the District 10 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Public Safety and Justice Affairs Committee.
Resolution 2022-0289, awarding a total sum not to exceed $12,000 to the Cuyahoga County Land Reutilization Corporation for demolition of the cottage on Greenwood Farm Community Park in the City of Richmond Heights from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2022-0290, awarding a total sum not to exceed $12,000 to the Cuyahoga County Land Reutilization Corporation for demolition of 422 Richmond Road in the City of Richmond Heights for the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2022-0291, awarding a total sum not to exceed $100,000 to the City of Richmond Heights for the purpose of installing an emergency generator at Richmond Heights City Hall from the District 11 Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2022-0293, awarding a total sum not to exceed $400,000 to the City of South Euclid for the South Belvoir Boulevard Resurfacing Project from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee. Andrea, did we do item 292?
Yes, we did.
That's all right. Thank you.
Mr. President, I believe there's an error in resolution 0277. It should be Bell Burton Car.
Oh, you mean in terms of their name?
Yes.
Actually, it is Burton Bell Car, BBC.
Is it?
Yep.
Bell Burton Car.
All right. Committee reports. Yep. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions of council for second reading.
Resolution 2022-0194, awarding a total sum not to exceed $1 million to the City of Shaker Heights for the Lee Road Corridor Revitalization Project from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the September 13th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0220, awarding a total sum not to exceed $1,200,000 to the City of Bay Village for the Cahoon Memorial Park Lakefront Project from the District 1 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the September 13th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0221, awarding a total sum not to exceed $1 million to the City of Fairview Park for the Public Facility Regional Environmental Improvement Project from the District 1 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the September 13th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0222, awarding a total sum not to exceed $1,217,000 to the City of Rocky River for the purpose of constructing a firearms range for the Rocky River Police Department from the District 1 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the September 13th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0223, awarding a total sum not to exceed $1 million to the City of Westlake for the purpose of demolition of the Parkside Intermediary School to facilitate construction of the Parkside Park and athletic fields from the District 1 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
And this item will move to the September 13th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0224, awarding a total sum not to exceed $500,000 to the Beck Center for the Arts for infrastructure needs for the District 2 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the September 13th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0225, awarding a total sum not to exceed $350,000 to the Bel Air Puritas Development Corporation for the construction of the Lyric Community Center Phase 2 from the District 2 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the September 13th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0226, awarding a total sum not to exceed $1,500,000 to the City of Lakewood for the Lakewood Refuse and Recycling Animal Shelter and Stockpile Yard Project from the District 2 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the September 13th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0227, awarding a total sum not to exceed $40,000 to the Black Professionals Association Charitable Foundation for the Career Connect Internship Program Enhancement Project, and it's from the District 7 Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the September 13th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0228, awarding a total sum not to exceed $65,000 to the Catholic Charities St. Martin de Porres Family Center for Strategic Plan Development from the District 7 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the September 13th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0229, awarding a total sum not to exceed $90,000 to the Catholic Charities Corporation Fatima Family Center for furniture upgrades at 6600 Lexington Avenue on the Fatima Family Center campus from the District 7 Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the September 13th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0230, awarding a total sum not to exceed $63,000 to the Catholic Charities Corporation Fatima Family Center for the Huff Collaborative Main Office Upgrade from the District 7 Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the September 13th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0231, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,000 to East End Neighborhood House, Inc. for the purpose of making various capital improvements from the District 7 Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the September 13th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0232, awarding a total sum not to exceed $700,000 to the Murtis Taylor Human Services System for the Community Center Capital Repair, Renovation, and Expansion Project from the District 7 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the September 13th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0233, awarding a total sum not to exceed $73,200 to the City of Bedford Heights for the purpose of upgrades and staffing at the Bedford Heights Computer Lab from the District 9 Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the September 13th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0234, awarding a total sum not to exceed $35,000 to the City of Bedford Heights for the purpose of expanding the Bedford Heights Food Relief Program from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the September 13th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0235, awarding a total sum not to exceed $450,000 to the City of Bedford Heights for the Homeowner Energy Efficient Weatherization Relief Program for the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the September 13th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0236, awarding a total sum not to exceed $600,000 to the City of Warrensville Heights for the purpose of upgrading the Warrensville Heights Senior and Civic Center from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the September 13th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0237, awarding a total sum not to exceed $2,674,700 to the Cleveland Hitchcock Center for Women, Inc., and it's for the purpose of constructing a new treatment center building from the General Fund ARPA Revenue Replacement, the District 2 ARPA Community Grant Fund, the District 7 ARPA Community Grant Fund, and the District 10 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the September 13th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Consideration of resolutions of council for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0152, awarding a total sum not to exceed $854,355 to the City of Middleburg Heights for the purpose of completing the Southland District Streetscape Improvement Project from the District 4 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, if I could,
I just want to thank my colleagues for their continued support with respect to this piece of legislation. It was great to work with Mayor Castelli in Middleburg Heights. And we know where these tax dollars are going, and they're going back to the people of Middleburg Heights for a transformational project that will be an economic boom for the city. So I appreciate your support on this. Thank you.
All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0155, awarding a total sum not to exceed $590,000 to the City of Berea for the purpose of Co-Lake Park and Park Knoll Park upgrades from the District 5 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, I also would like to thank my colleagues for their past support and hopefully continued support with my submittals. For the ARPA funds, this particular item, the handicapped individuals in Berea and their families and surrounding areas will greatly appreciate your support this evening with this item. This targets those with handicaps to be able to participate in the world in which we are lucky enough to live with all of our working limbs. So we would appreciate your support.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0158, awarding a total sum not to exceed $108,000 to the City of Olmsted Falls for the rehabilitation of the David Fortier River Park and East River Park multi-use path from the District 5 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, I'd also appreciate support for this upgrade in parks within the city of Olmsted Falls.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0159, awarding a total sum not to exceed $135,000 to the City of Olmsted Falls for the East River Road Park Playground Equipment Project from the District 5 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Again, Mr. President, I appreciate support for this item. This is for expanded playground equipment. And again, for those targeted for those children that have handicaps that have an inability to participate.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2022-0160, awarding a total sum not to exceed $76,500 to the City of Olmsted Falls for the Village Green Park Playground Equipment Project from the District 5 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Ditto for this one, Mr. President.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2022-0161, awarding a total sum not to exceed $480,000 to Olmsted Township for the purpose of the Olmsted Township Nature Trail and Dog Park from the District 5 Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, I'd appreciate support for this item, and in particular, unfortunately, she was unavailable at the time for the presentation, but Councilwoman Simon, I know this is close to her heart, and our dog friends throughout Cuyahoga County are being taken care of. I don't know what may be going on in Newburgh Heights, but our friends in the township are very excited to be able to provide access to their four-legged furry friends.
Mr. President, thank you to my colleague. I would like to add my name.
Let's add Councilwoman Sunny Simon's name. All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2022-0162, awarding a total sum not to exceed $130,000 to the City of Highland Heights for the purpose of restoring and regrading 6 city-owned baseball fields from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. President. To my colleagues, this is to assist with the City of Highland Heights baseball fields, which are very need of repair and upgrade. So this is an integral part of their community. So I ask for your support.
And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. President, I'm sorry, could I add my name to that?
Let's add Councilman Toomer's name. Gallagher's name as well.
Mr. President,
And
please add my name. Thank you.
Councilman Miller's name. All right.
Duly noted. Resolution 2022-0163, awarding a total sum not to exceed $20,000 to the City of Highland Heights for the purpose of updating and expanding the City Community Center from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt. Mr. President, to my colleagues, this Highland Heights Awards, I ask for your support because Highland Heights has suffered tremendously by losing income from the Progressive company that's situated and located in the city. Because of COVID, the workers were displaced, and the taxes now that would have otherwise gone to the city of Highland Heights are now going to those cities in which those employees live. So Highland Heights is facing a significant drop in its income. So these projects that you're going to see are vital for the continued integrity of that city.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0164, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,000 to the City of Highland Heights for the purpose of purchasing a replacement emergency generator from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0165, awarding a total sum not to exceed $50,000 to the City of Highland Heights for the purpose of upgrading the city municipal complex technology equipment from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt. No further comment.
No further comment. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0166, awarding a total sum not to exceed $100,000 to the City of Highland Heights for the purpose of adding trails and connectivity points throughout the Highland Heights Community Park from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0167, awarding a total sum not to exceed $700,000 to the City of Lyndhurst for the purpose of purchasing a fire attack engine from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, to my colleagues, this award would be going to the City of Lyndhurst for the purchase of an engine for one of their fire trucks. And you can see how expensive these are, and this will preserve the life of this vehicle and also serve a regional purpose in helping mutual aid for adjoining cities. So I ask for your support.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0168, awarding a total sum not to exceed $40,000 to the City of Richmond Heights for the purpose of creating a citywide parks and recreation strategic plan from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. President. This will assist the City of Richmond Heights to, for the first time, have a plan for their parks and how they're going to proceed with maintaining and actually expanding their park system. So I ask for your support.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0169, awarding a total sum not to exceed $150,000 to the City of Richmond Heights for the purpose of replacing the pedestrian bridge north of the Richmond Heights Fire Station from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. President. To my colleagues, this bridge is now a hazard and has tape all over it, so people cannot use it. So this is really important to the city to make sure that it's safe for the residents. I ask for your support.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0170, awarding a total sum not to exceed $100,000 to the City of Richmond Heights for the purpose of replacing the porch at the Greenwood Farm Community Park Farmhouse from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. President, to the colleagues. The Greenwood Farm is an old farmhouse in the city, and it's been actually an engine for economic development. There's been several movies filmed there, and it's ready now to film another one. It attracts horror films, and it's interesting old place, and hopefully we can get some trailers to council to take a look at it. But it's badly in need of this replacement and repair so it can keep functioning.
Mr. President, Yes. If we repair it, will it not be a horror flick?
No,
attraction?
no, you'll have
No.
to see it. No, it's still really scary.
No, I'm just
I know you're kidding. It,
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0171, awarding a total sum not to exceed $300,000 to the City of South Euclid for the purpose of constructing the Victory Park Adult and Senior Recreation Area from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. President, to my colleagues. This is the first of its kind in the city of South Euclid, and we believe in the county where they're going to have an park dedicated to senior adults, and it's at the location where our senior center is, and we believe this is going to be quite an amenity and a place for seniors to thrive.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0190, awarding a total sum not to exceed $750,000 to the City of Brooklyn for the Brooklyn City Center project from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear who second.
Schron, second.
Thank you.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0191, awarding a total sum not to exceed $75,000 to the Near West Theater for general operations from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Again, these items were discussed in committee and ask for your approval. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0192, awarding a total sum not to exceed $1 million to the Northeast Ohio Hispanic Center for Economic Development for the Central Villa 2025 project from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt. This was heard in the Economic Development Committee. The hardest part of this fantastic project was they kept tempting us with this delicious-looking food. It was just, it was quite enticing. And so it's going to be a hub for the Hispanic community in that area to renovate this whole area around different economic development components. So it's very exciting.
All right, move. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0193, awarding a total sum not to exceed $700,000 to the City of Bedford for the Bedford Commons Expansion Project from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt. Mr. Chairman, I want to thank my colleagues for your continued support in this area. This was one of the very first meetings I had as a member of council with Mayor Kosi and City Manager Malice. So I am grateful that they are using this money to do something for the citizens in that community, and I ask for your continued support, and I thank you for your support.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0195, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,000 to the City of Pepper Pike for the Gates Mills Boulevard Linear Park Trailhead and Amenities Project from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0196, awarding a total sum not to exceed $274,781.57 to Orange Village for the purpose of purchasing 7 marked police vehicles from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second, Conwell.
Again, I had the privilege of meeting with Mayor Mulcahy and all of her public safety forces, and I know that this was something that they settled on as they had many needs in that community, but I ask for my colleagues' support on this issue today.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0198, awarding a total sum not to exceed $137,100 to the Village of North Randall for the purpose of repairing and remodeling 4750 Northville Road for use as a community center from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0199, awarding a total sum not to exceed $24,170 to the Village of Woodmere for the Woodmere Fire Department Turnout Gear Renewal Program from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second, Conwell.
Mr. President, I'm so excited about this piece of legislation here. Last week, I had the opportunity to serve as mistress of ceremonies in this community. They swore in their first woman fire chief and the first in Cuyahoga County. So I'm sure she'll be excited about this addition to her arsenal. To make sure that that community is safe, I ask for my colleagues' support on this issue.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0200, awarding a total sum not to exceed $50,006 to the Village of Woodmere for the Police Department Body-Worn Cameras Replacement Program from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second, Conwell.
Nothing further.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0201, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,331.36 to the Village of Woodmere for the purpose of purchasing a swap loader truck and chassis from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second, Conwell.
Nothing further.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0202, awarding a total sum not to exceed $700,000 to the City of Beechwood for the City of Beechwood Community Playground Project from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. President and my colleagues. I ask for your support for this project, and it's important to note that the City of Beechwood Playground is going to be open to all communities. So this will be something that everybody can take advantage of, and ask for your support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2022-0203, awarding a total sum not to exceed $32,000 to the City of Euclid for replacement fencing and roof repairs at the Euclid Animal Shelter from the District 11 Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Thank you. I just want to point out with this city shelter, there's very few communities in the county that have their own animal shelters. Most rely on the City of Cleveland, of course, the large communities like Lakewood. However, most cities rely on the county shelter. And so really having a place for these dogs to go takes the pressure off our own animal shelter. So this really serves two purposes: to make sure that when they're being held, it's humane, but also it helps our county shelter as well at the same time.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0204, awarding a total sum not to exceed $200,000 to the City of Euclid for the Heritage Park Home Improvement Grant Program from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. President and colleagues. This is the first of its kind in the City of Euclid where they're going to have a home improvement program. We see them throughout different cities in the community, but this is the first for them. And I'm excited that it's targeted an area as well that's badly in need of help for the housing stock.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2022-0205, awarding a total sum not to exceed $100,000 to the City of Euclid for the Hero Park Playground and Trail Project from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Thank you. Just an important project for the city, and I ask for your support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0206, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,000 to the City of Euclid for the purpose of replacing windows at the Shore Cultural Center from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. President and colleagues. This is a downtown Euclid. It's an old schoolhouse, and the windows that are in there are just badly in need of repair. It's not efficient weatherization, so this is going to go miles to preserve this landmark.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0207, awarding a total sum not to exceed $90,000 to the City of Euclid for the purpose of purchasing sidewalk snowplows from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Thank you. Just ask for your support.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0208, awarding a total sum not to exceed $2 million to the Cleveland Zoological Society for Phase 2 of the Primate Forest Project from the Community Development Fund and the District 3, District 5, and District 11 ARPA Community Grant Funds.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to ask my colleagues to support this really transformational project at the zoo. The ARPA dollars, there's a specific allocation for tourism, and this project is definitely going to be able to take advantage of these funds. It's going to attract people from probably all over because it's the first of its kind to have a primate forest with new technology to enable these apes to have a humane habitat, but also to be able to breed. So this project is going to help tourism. It's going to help our, free days at the zoo for our children, but also help conservation, because what's happening there is there's just been a first baby born. My colleague Gallagher is showing Cayambe, who's the first of its kind at our zoo, and it's a lowland gorilla baby. And those are extremely under stress from the wars there and the meat trade. So these babies being born at our zoo are going to help preserve a species. So there's so many levels to this project, and I want to thank my colleagues. First President Jones, who came with me to take a tour to see the conditions as they are today, which are pretty bad relative to what can happen there. But Gallagher and Sweeney for their support on this, because it is something that's going to be so important for generations to come. So thank you.
Thank you. And I just want to acknowledge your commitment to this, and you're inviting me to be there. So I appreciate it. I had an opportunity to come out with you, brought my niece as well. And when we got there and got to put our eyes on it, it was special to really recognize the challenge that's going on, that they're transforming the rainforest into a habitat for the gorillas, give them more space. But at the same time, my niece noticed that the cheetahs were in a small space themselves. And they said, well, once the gorillas move into the rainforest, they'll use the gorilla space as additional space for the cheetahs. They'll give them a little mechanical rabbit or something to chase so the cheetahs can stretch their legs. So it was important. And we also had an opportunity to get a commitment to minority inclusion on the construction work on this $90 million. So it was a all-around great opportunity to learn about this project.
Thank you. And President Jones went on a zip line, so we have video of that.
All right. So again, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, opposed? Ayes have it. Legislation introduced by executive. Consideration of a resolution for first reading adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor of suspending the rules, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Rules are suspended.
Resolution 2022-0294, amending the 2022-2023 biennial operating budget for 2022 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations from the general fund for appropriation transfers and cash transfers.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, my colleagues, this resolution is the regular fiscal agenda of budget amendments. The answers to our questions to OBM are on your desks.
All right.
Most of the items are routine appropriation or closeout of grants, appropriations for capital projects included in our capital plan, and fund realignments. The largest item is an appropriation of $11.5 million from the $7.50 license plate fund to cover projects expected to be sold for the remainder of this year. We are appropriating $7,916,538 for this year's state reclaim grant to help divert youth from the criminal justice system. Note that this allocation is reduced by 25.7% from last year's allocation of $10,664,575. $557 due to overwhelming demand across the state for these services. Also notable, given the recently approved facility study review, is the appropriation of $130,000 for emergency structural shoring to deal with deficiencies on the P2 level of the Jail 1 building. I recommend passage on first reading suspension.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution 2022-0295, confirming the county executive's reappointment of various individuals to serve on the Cuyahoga County Citizens Advisory Council on Equity for the term July 15th, 2022 through July 14th, 2025 for the following individuals: the Honorable Annette M. Blackwell, Mayor, Kenneth Chalker, and Habiba R. Grimes.
This item will be referred to the Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee.
Resolution 2022-0296, authorizing the county executive to accept assignment of a real estate purchase agreement as amended between the Greater Cleveland Community Improvement Corporation and Ohio Properties 2021 LLC in the amount not to exceed $6,407,000 for the purchase of certain parcels of land containing approximately 40.67 acres bounded by Interstate 77 to the east and Heitman Road to the south and west for various permanent parcels.
This item will be referred to the Committee of the Whole.
Resolution 2022-0297, authorizing a real estate purchase agreement with UTS Realty LLC in the amount not to exceed $20 million for the purchase of real property located at 2700 Transport Road, Cleveland, Ohio, for various permanent parcels, authorizing a lease of said property to UTS Realty LLC or its designee.
This item will be referred to the Committee of the Whole.
Resolution 2022-0298, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires the resurfacing of various roadways in various municipalities in connection with the 2023-2024 50/50 resurfacing program. Total estimated project cost is $5,120,322.50, finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvements. Also authorizing the county executive to enter into agreements of cooperation with various municipalities in connection with said projects. Items A through V.
This item will be referred to the Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2022-0299, authorizing an amendment to contract number 712 with Poly Inc. for lease of space at the Westside Regional Probation Office, located at 5361 Pearl Road in Parma, by the Cuyahoga County Juvenile Court Probation Services Division, as a satellite operations office, and it's for the period September 1st, 2010 through August 31st, 2022, to extend the time period to August 31st, 2027, to modify the contract terms to include building improvements required of lessor, effective upon contract signature of all parties, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $274,500.
This item will be referred to the Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2022-0300, making an award on requisition 9555 to R.L. Hill Management, Inc., in the amount not to exceed $3,974,592 for the Cuyahoga County Men's Shelter Expansion Project.
This item will be referred to the Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2022-0301, amending resolution number 2020-0264, dated December 8th, 2020, which authorized an exemption from requests for proposals and made awards on requisition 3911 to various providers for financial counseling and mortgage assistance services to eligible homeowners adversely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic for the Mortgage Assistance Program in connection with the Community Development Block Grant Program for the period January 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2022, by rescinding the award to CHN Housing Partners in the amount not to exceed $500,000, by changing the total amount not to exceed from $2 million to $5 million, I'm sorry, and by revising the resolution language regarding project goals.
This item will be referred to the Community Development Committee.
Resolution 2022-0302, authorizing a grant award to Growth Opportunity Partners, Inc. in the amount not to exceed $1 million to support the development of renewable energy resources in underserved communities through a low-interest loan program commencing upon signature of all parties through December 31st, 2024.
This item will be referred to the Education, Environment, and Sustainability Committee.
Resolution 2022-0303, authorizing a grant award to College Now Greater Cleveland in the amount not to exceed $2,500,000 for the administration and management of debt repayment scholarships and completion scholarships to eligible post-secondary students in connection with the Cuyahoga County Completion Scholarship Program, commencing upon contract signature of all parties for a period of 2 years.
This item will be referred to the Education, Environment, and Sustainability Committee. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading.
Resolution 2022-0244, authorizing affordable housing loans to various organizations in the total amount not to exceed $5 million for the Affordable Housing Gap Financing Program, items A through H.
This item will move to the September 13th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0246, making an award on requisition 9317 to Community Housing Solutions in the amount not to exceed $1,700,000 to provide home repair grants and loans to eligible homeowners for the Homeowner Repair Program for the period June 1st, 2022 through May 31st, 2024 from the 2022 Community Development Block Grant Program Fund and the District 7 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the September 13th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0255, authorizing the issuance and sale of County of Cuyahoga, Ohio, Economic Development Revenue Bonds, Series 2022A, in the maximum of $31 million for the purpose of providing monies to pay costs of a project within the meaning of Chapter 165 of the Ohio Revised Code, authorizing the execution and delivery of a second supplemental trust indenture securing the payment of the Series 2022A bonds, establishing funds of the county related thereto, and authorizing the execution and delivery of a bond purchase agreement.
This item will move to the September 13th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
No, it'll be for second reading.
All right. So committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I
No.
move to suspend the rules.
Oh, do we need to go back and correct that?
Yes, we do. We need to correct it. This is for second reading only.
Again, as I said, this will, item 255 will be for second reading only.
Correct.
All right.
Okay.
So
Just
give
wanted to make
committee-
sure we said that.
Yes.
Okay.
Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second, or Stephen second.
I'm sorry, can we say it again? Somebody's mic was too low and then somebody
So
talked over.
moved.
Thank you.
Second by Gallagher, I think.
Thought it was moved
Or
by
me.
Gallagher.
All right. Any discussion on those motions? If not, all those in favor of suspending the rules, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the rules are suspended.
Resolution 2022-0213, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires the rehabilitation of Green Bryden Culvert at the intersection of Green Road and Bryden Road in the cities of Beechwood and Shaker Heights for a total estimated project cost $1 million.
Move to adopt. This probably was heard in Public Works. But I want to add my name to it.
Okay. I lost track of
Oh, we're getting tired. All right.
30. We're on
Page
213?
32, page 32.
I got lost with that last.
It's okay. It's a Beechwood culvert.
Yes.
Okay.
So you're adding your name. Okay. Okay. And did we make a motion to adopt?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right.
You know, we
Stick
haven't
with
had
me
these
here.
long agendas since we
Yes.
first built government back
That's-
in 2011, remember?
That's right.
It's been a
So,
while.
this piece of legislation was heard in Public Works. Nicole English presented it on July 27th. 15% is used from the county road and bridge fund. 42.5% Beechwood is paying, and another 42.5% Shaker Heights is paying. This culvert runs under the intersection of the road, and it covers approximately 15,000 vehicles who travel that intersection per day, and it's an area of 250 feet long. And I would ask for my colleagues' support on this legislation, like Miss Simon did for us. Thank you.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Council President,
Yes.
I apologize to interrupt the meeting, but I think on Resolution 2022-0255 on page 32, the Committee of the Whole approved a substitute with a different caption, and I believe for second reading, we should read the caption appropriately to correctly identify what happened in the Committee of the Whole. And I mentioned it to the clerk, and she agrees. So I think that's something we'd have to go back and do to clarify what we did at the Committee of the Whole.
All right. So I hear you. So what you need for us to do is to simply reread it?
Yes, Andre would have to reread the appropriate caption because it was amended in the Committee of the Whole.
That's correct.
Sorry.
You want to take a moment and do it right now? Little punch drunk. Yeah. This is page 32. Yes.
Trevor, can we just read the proposed substitute that was approved? Yeah. I mean, if,
Okay, I'm going to read into the record for clarification. Resolution 2022-0255, authorizing the issuance and sale of County of Cuyahoga, Ohio Economic Development Revenue Bonds, Series 2022A, in the maximum of $31 million for the purpose of providing monies to pay costs of a project within the meaning of Chapter 165 of the Ohio Revised Code, appropriating additional funds in an amount not to exceed $9.4 million.
Nine?
No.
$9.4 million. Yeah, that's what I said.
All right. So, and we will move this item to the September 13th council agenda for second reading. That's not for third reading, for third reading. All right. Good. You okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, moving on. Resolution 2022-0214, authorizing the appropriation of real property for reconstruction of Stearns Road from Shady Road to Bagley Road in Olmsted Township, directing the county executive through the Department of Public Works to proceed with the acquisition of real property required for public highway purposes, authorizing the fiscal officer to issue the monetary warrants to be deposited with probate court of Cuyahoga County in an amount that is equal to fair market value for items 1 through 9.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, we had Ms. English before Public Works on July 27, 2022 to discuss this. This project will need temporary access to 41 separate parcels. All but 8 parcel owners have entered into agreements with the county. The remaining 8 parcel owners have largely been unresponsive to the numerous contacts from the county. One parcel owner has responded with a counteroffer that's too high, of $1,200. The amount is not in line with the agreement with similarly situated property owners, and so this is a procedural matter that the county has to do. The Ohio Turnpike will be making upgrades at the same time The county will do sewers and roads and adding sidewalks with this entire project totaling $4.5 million. So it's important to move this along as quickly as possible. I would ask for my colleagues' support.
All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0215, authorizing an amendment to state contract number 2535 with Great Lakes Petroleum for the purchase of fuel for various county facilities for the period April 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2022, to extend the time period to June 30th, 2023, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $650,000.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
And, Mr. President, this piece of legislation deals with the county's contract for petroleum gas, allows continuous access for fuel for our county fleet, and it adds another year to the county's contract, and we will use the state contracting processes, and this helps the county eliminate the wild cost fluctuation for the necessary purchase of fuel for the county's fleet of vehicles. And I'd ask my colleagues' support on this piece of legislation.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0215, authorizing an amendment to state contract, I just read that one, I'm sorry. Move on. Resolution 2022-0216, making an award on requisition 8218 to Orchard, Hiltz, and McClement, Inc., doing business as OHM Advisors in the amount not to exceed $1,448,950 for engineering services for the Lake Road Clifton Boulevard project in the cities of Lakewood and Rocky River in connection with the Cuyahoga County Lakefront Access Plan, effective upon contract signature of all parties through December 31st, 2024.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
And Mr. President, this piece of legislation, they're hoping to move this along and be completed by the end of 2022. In addition to Ms. English, we heard from Mayor George in the city of Lakewood, who spoke very passionately about the importance of this project to the city, and it was in support of this matter, and they were looking for this to move along on second reading suspension so they could start work immediately on the project. And I would ask for my colleagues' support.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0219, authorizing an amendment to a master contract with various providers for community-based services to support at-risk children and families in Cuyahoga County for the period April 1st, 2021 through March 31st, 2022, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2022, to expand the scope of services, to add data collection and sharing capacity building, staff training, and marketing services, effective April 1st, 2022, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $3,705,800.71 for the various providers A through I.
Move to adopt.
Second.
I ask my colleagues to support this. This is self-explanatory in our collabs that are around our communities in the city of Cleveland. That works directly with getting resources to needy families, and in particular, getting connecting and having visitation for the children that are in our care with their families so they can reunify. So I ask my colleagues for their support.
All right, and please add my name to this item.
And please add my name, Mr. Chairman.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Council Rule 9C allows for the reading of various similar items by abbreviated titles. Therefore, items 0240 and 0241 will be read into the record by abbreviated titles if there are no objections. Resolution 2022-0240, fixing the 2023 water, storm, and sanitary sewer maintenance and/or sewerage treatment rates for Cuyahoga County Sewer District numbers 1, 1A, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 13, 14, 18, 20, 21, 22, and 24, in accordance with Ohio Revised Code Section 6117.02.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
And, Mr. President, with respect to this legislation, as the clerk indicated, this is set rates fixing the water, storm, and sanitary sewer maintenance rates as required by Ohio Revised Code. We do this annually, and the rates do vary by community and also by the type of structure, i.e. the single-family home versus a commercial property, et cetera. And I would ask for my colleagues' support on this piece of legislation moving forward here.
All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0241, approving and confirming the 2023 water, storm, and sanitary sewer maintenance and/or sewerage treatment assessments for county sewer districts for various counter sewer districts.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
And, Mr. President, this is a companion piece of legislation by which it is required that we approve the water, storm, and sanitary sewer maintenance rates. We do this on an annual basis as well, and I would ask for my colleagues' support on this legislation.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0242, authorizing an amendment to contract number 1921 with SMG Huntington Convention Center of Cleveland for lease of space at Huntington Convention Center of Cleveland and the Global Center for Health Innovation, located at 1 St. Clair Avenue Northeast, for jury duty operations for the Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas for the period August 28th, 2021 through June 30th, 2022, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2022, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $610,022.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
And, Mr. President, Melanie Say of Public Works and Greg Popovich of the Court of Common Pleas came before Public Works Committee on July 27, 2022, making this request of $610,022. It's continued use of convention space for the Court of Common Pleas jurors. This will extend the county's lease of space through the end of 2022, and the facility will be used for jury registration and organization. All criminal trials are taking place in the Justice Center currently, and this lease of space will allow the jurors to congregate in a more open space. Space may be also used by visiting judges and for some civil jury trials, as we have an uptick, I should say, in COVID situation here. I would ask for my colleagues' support on this piece of legislation.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0245, authorizing a contract with KeyBank National Association in the amount not to exceed $1 million to provide a loan loss reserve on unsecured home repair, home improvement loans to qualifying homeowners commencing upon contract signature of all parties for a period of 10 years.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Probably moved and seconded. This item was heard in committee and vetted and recommended for approval. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0247, making an award on requisition 9317 to Home Repair Resource Center in the amount not to exceed $1,500,000 for home repair, financial counseling, and support services for the Challenge Program for the period June 1st, 2022 through May 31st, 2025, from the General Fund and from the District 8 ARPA Community Grant Fund, District 9, and District 10 Community ARPA Grant Funds.
Second.
Who seconded?
Turner.
Thank you. Councilmember Stevens, if you could turn your microphone on, please.
Thank you. Mr. President, I ask my colleagues to support this legislation because it helps an organization who has, for 50 years, helped people who have had low incomes and credit problems overcome those problems and keep their homes in good repair. Thank you.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Please add my name.
Duly noted. Okay. Resolution 2022-0248, authorizing a grant award to National Council for Community Development, doing business as National Development Council, in the amount not to exceed $2 million as fiscal agent and administrator of the Cuyahoga County Small Business Grant Program, commencing upon signature contract of all parties for a period of 1 year.
Move to adopt.
Second, Simon.
This was heard in committee, and it's an exciting program whereby they're going to get the funds out very quickly in a grant proposals whereby small businesses that have been around for at least a couple of years have established revenue, and they will help support that at various different levels depending on their revenue participation and their needs out there. Ask everybody to support it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Could you add my name to this, please?
Let's add Councilwoman Stevens' name. Any opposed? Let the ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0249, making awards on requisition 7813 to various providers in the total amount not to exceed $8 million for cellular mobility devices and services, commencing upon contract signature of all parties for a period of 5 years. For items A through B. Contract with AT&T Corporation in the amount not to exceed $7,500,000 for various departments. And B, contract number 2316 with Cellco Partnership, doing business as Verizon Wireless, in the amount not to exceed $500,000 for the Department of Public Safety and Justice Services and the Sheriff's Department.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, my colleagues, this resolution approves 5-year contracts for cellular and mobility services with AT&T for $7.5 million and Verizon for $500,000. The second contract is recommended because Verizon is able to provide better signal quality at the Justice Center. The existing contracts have already expired, so I recommend passage on second reading suspension.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0250, making awards on requisition 9509 to various providers in the total amount not to exceed $3 million for the purchase of hardware, software, and other peripheral items from an established technology supply catalog, commencing upon contract signature of all parties for a period of 3 years. For the following providers: contract number 2549 with M&J Technologies Direct, Inc., in the amount not to exceed $1,500,000, and B, contract number 2551 with Tech Communications, Inc., in the amount not to exceed $1,500,000.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, my colleagues, this resolution approves a master contract with M&J Technologies and Tech Communications for $1.5 million each for the purchase of computer equipment as part of the county's information technology capital improvement plan. While we are not required to purchase equipment from either vendor, the master contract will facilitate timely acquisition of required products in this difficult supply chain environment and provide competition between the two vendors. So as not require waiting over the summer break, I recommend passage on second reading suspension.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0251, making an award on requisition 7583 to Keefe Commissary Network, LLC, in the amount of $2,400,000 of estimated revenue for jail commissary services, commencing upon agreement signature of all parties for a period of 3 years.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, this was heard and vetted in Safety Committee, and recommendation was adoption.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0252, authorizing an amendment to contract number 228 with Metro Health System for correctional health care services for the Cuyahoga County Jail System for the period May 9th, 2019 through May 8th, 2022, to extend the time period to May 8th, 2024, and for additional funds in the amount of $30,056,224 for a total not to exceed amount of $85,983,264.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, this also was heard and vetted in the Safety Committee, and I would suggest that of all the good things that I think this panel has done throughout the years, that as we go to our great reward, this will be looked upon as one of the most important things that we have ever done in this council, and that's to move Metro Hospital into taking care of our prisoners and those in custody. So recommendation was adoption.
All
Mr.
right.
President?
Yes.
I'd like to add my name and thank Councilman Gallagher for his leadership on this from day one. When we started the new government, that was first, I believe, one of the first items on his list to take care of. So thank you so much. And I think Greenspan had a hand
Mr.
in it.
Greenspan, can't
Yep,
forget
yep.
him.
Can't forget him. He's not
Although
here.
he
but,
scooted out before
yep.
we got it done, so.
Thank you.
I'd like to add my name to this as well.
Yeah, please add my name as well. Thank you.
My name as well, please.
My name as well.
I don't know about the Gallagher comments, though.
They're a long time coming, right?
You're correct, and I would like to add my name as well. All right.
Just want to confirm, we have Councilmember Simon, Councilmember Stevens, Councilmember Tuma, Councilmember Miller, Councilmember Turner, and Council President Jones.
Yes.
Thank you.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2022-0253, authorizing an amendment to contract number 2576 with WellPath LLC for healthcare and management services at the Juvenile Court Detention Center for the period January 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2022, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2023, to revise the payment terms and staffing plan effective October 24th, 2021, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $2,784,439.12.
Move to adopt.
Second.
President, this was presented to us in the Safety Committee by the Juvenile Court. The recommendation, this is their health care for their inmates and detainees. Recommendation was adoption, and I'd be remiss to not forget the county executive regarding the previous legislation. What we've done here from day one has been to act like a team, and without us being a team, things wouldn't get done. And I greatly appreciate the executive's leadership when it came to that also. It was greatly needed.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the resolution is adopted. Consideration of a resolution for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2022-0211, confirming the county executive's reappointment of various individuals to serve on the Monument Commission of Cuyahoga County for the term September 1st, 2022 through August 31st, 2025 for the following individuals: Patty Chobe, Patrick Hewitt, and Matthew Reimer.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Thank you. This resolution, R 2022-0211, was heard in the Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee on Tuesday, July 12th, 2022. Janae Holly recommended the reappointment of 3 individuals, as stated, Patty Chobe, Patrick Hewitt, and Matt Reimer, to continue their service on the Monument Commission of Cuyahoga County, ending August 31st, 2025. They have all been a valuable asset to this commission, and the committee voted unanimously to approve all of their reappointments for third reading adoption. I ask for your support of this resolution.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Consideration of ordinances for first reading and referral to committee.
Ordinance 2022-0005, amending and codifying Board of County Commissioners Resolution Number 2007-073101, dated July 26, 2007, and enacting new Chapter 727, Section 727.01 of the Cuyahoga County Code to change the period of time during which the county sales tax shall be levied at the aggregate rate of 1 1/4%.
This item will be referred to the Committee of the Whole.
Ordinance 2022-0006, amending and codifying Board of County Commissioners Resolution Number 2007-073102, dated July 26, 2007, and enacting new Chapter 727, Section 727.02 of the Cuyahoga County Code to change the period of time during which the county use tax shall be levied at the aggregate rate of 1 1/4%.
This item will be referred to the Committee of the Whole.
Ordinance 2022-0007, enacting new Chapter 703 of the County Code, establishing a Justice Center Capital Projects Fund in accordance with Ohio Revised Code, Section 5705.13.
This item will be referred to the Committee of the Whole.
Ordinance 2022-0008, amending Chapter 1501 of the Cuyahoga County Code to prohibit discrimination on the basis of reproductive health decisions.
This item will be referred to the Committee of the Whole. Miscellaneous committee reports. Are there any committee?
Mr. President.
Councilman Miller.
The next Finance and Budgeting Committee will be on Monday, September 19th at 1 p.m. to hear Zig's final ERP report and deal with whatever else arises in the meantime.
All right.
Mr. President, Public Works will be held at its regularly scheduled time, September 7th, I suppose that would be.
You coming before we come back, Mr. President? Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to do it before we come.
Right.
I thought Councilman Miller said this.
I said the 19th.
Oh, the 19th. My bad. I'm looking at the wrong date. Then I will say the 21st.
Okay.
I want to be clear about that.
I was waiting on you, so I know the right date. Mr. President, HHS will meet on the 21st.
Wednesday, September 21st. All right.
I have one.
Any other reports?
Environments, oh, go ahead, Council. Okay, you have a lot.
Community
Yes,
development?
yes, you do.
Community Development, the 19th.
Okay, Monday, the 19th of September.
Environment, Sustainability, Education, the 21st at 3.
All right.
And, Mr. President, the Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee will meet on Tuesday, September 20th.
Any other reports? All right, if those are all up.
I have.
Yes, go right ahead.
A comment, if you will so allow me, colleagues, executive privilege. Today was a secondary election day in the state of Ohio. Many of us had friends and former colleagues on the ballot a second time, and I just looked up the Board of Elections numbers for Cuyahoga County. As of 7:05 p.m., approximately 9.96% of the voters had turned out. That is so sad. The vote is one of the most very important things that we have as Americans. It is how we decide how government and leadership will be exercised, not only in our individual communities, but in the county and in the state. And I am so sad that our voter turnout was so low. I encourage everyone to vote in the general election. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl. Any
Mr.
other
President?
miscellaneous business? Councilman Miller.
Mr. President, my colleagues, as part of my service as council's representative on the NOACA board, I'm working on 3 committees that are working to develop a 5-county climate action plan, one of the first such multi-county plans. The plan will cover both reduction of emissions and adaptive response. Climate change is our biggest threat, and we all must do our part to raise consciousness and take effective action.
Thank you, Councilman Miller. Any other miscellaneous business? If not, Madam Clerk.
Have a good August and
Council
summer.
President?
President, I just want to wish my colleagues a good
Council
summer.
President, we have one more item.
Oh, we do?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
It's a report by
withdrawn.
clerk on the legislation withdrawn at the request of sponsor. This is for Resolution 2022-0243, approving an alternative procurement process and making an award to DLZ Architecture, Inc. in the amount not to exceed $150,000 for an independent peer review analysis for the Cuyahoga County Correction Center. And this item is being withdrawn at the request of the sponsor.
All right. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Councilwoman Simon, did you have
Oh, just
a
wanted to
comment?
say, have a good couple weeks off for summer, everybody. See
That's
ya.
right. Enjoy your
Yeah.
summer recess.
And I just wanted to just let everyone know, as a reminder, Cuyahoga County Council will be on summer recess and will be returning Tuesday, September 13th at 5 p.m.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Be safe.
Our meeting is now adjourned.
Okay, that was a long meeting.